Hey, Vikrant here.
Hey, Ashwin here.
And today we shall be reviewing his whole life. Why are you here?
I'm here to attend a job interview.
How many job interviews have you already attended?
I've attended 3 already.
How many are you going to attend?
I will be attending 2 more at the moment. And
And how does life look for you right now?
for this very brief moment, sunny, nice, and bright.
I swear, man, that is a dream. Applying, getting job offers, right, left, choosing what I want to do, what I don't want to do.
But that's a crazy thing. When you apply for a job, for the first 2 months, you just like depressed because you have no clue what's happening. It's like you're waiting and there's nothing that happens. And when you get the first interview and when you crack the first interview, somehow it's like the universe senses that it should make your life a bit more interesting, or in this case,
And
more.
that you have suffered enough.
Exactly. and the wheel starts changing. It starts turning all of a sudden. So as soon as I got my first job interview, they wanted me immediately. And I told them I need some time. And by the time...
Choosy person.
the one time I get to do something useful. So by the time I get to respond for them, I get 1 more job interview and they also want me. And by the time I decide for that person, I get 3 more job interviews at the moment. So I'm here to attend White.
Oh damn. No, so let's get to how this genius reached this stage in his life where he makes us all sit down and be jealous about his life.
I don't know if that makes you jealous, but if it does, I'm happy.
So let's start. Where were you born? Where are you from?
So I was born in Coimbatore. I did my schooling there.
Okay.
And I've been there till my 12th grade.
Okay.
And after that, I did my bachelor's in VIT.
Okay. In
Vellore.
what subject is that?
So in mechanical with specialization in energy engineering.
Energy engineering.
I know that sounds fancy, I know that sounds cool, but for those who are in Vellore and VIT, know that makes absolutely no difference from mechanical. In most cases, it's even easier than mechanical, so go for it, it's a nice course.
So your bachelor's energy, and then what did you do later?
So I worked in a company called KTech Engineering.
Okay.
And there I worked there for 1.5 years.
Okay. And what was your
my
job there?
profile was a design engineer. So KTech does a lot of press tools.
Okay.
They do press tools and they do plastic injection molds and they do aluminium molds and things like that for gravity casting.
Okay.
So different automotive components.
Are you using any of that knowledge still? Is it completely different now?
To an extent, yes, because all these things, when you come to manufacturing, you need to know where they come from and how it is.
Okay.
And when you make a product of your own, you need to understand
Oh, he's a
this
product
comes.
designer, by the way.
Product development engineer.
Product development engineer.
Yeah.
My bad. There was such a big difference there.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. Try applying for a job with the different titles, then you'll know.
I plan to stick with my simulations, but so you think this job helped you get into RWTH Aachen?
Yes, for sure.
And what was your profile right after, or right before you started applying? How were your grades? And
So, I mean, to put this in perspective, as soon as I was in my final year in VIT, in my 4th year, and I'd applied to Aachen,
okay,
they rejected me. And after I finished VIT, after I was
intact. I hope you're listening. He is now your face, the whole face of the whole company.
pretty good one, right?
But okay, so go on.
So when I was done with when I was in my final year, I applied, I got a reject. And then the next year I applied again and I got a reject again. And the third time when I applied, I had 1.5 years of work experience.
Dude, but you had guts. I swear. And you
Definitely.
didn't give up. And that is one thing I've learned about coming into Germany. If you have even a slight possibility of giving up, you're never going to make it in Germany because you get rejected every so often, right and left. And this is coming from a guy who finished one of the toughest courses in one of the most known universities in Germany.
Man, that sounds good when you put it that way.
I swear, right?
It does.
No, the first time I realized it, I was like, damn, okay, I now have masters from Aachen.
Yeah.
RWTH Aachen.
But I must tell you, I've attended interviews in 3 different companies so far, like all pretty big companies, like one being White and EcoClean, another one is Bada Group.
Uh-huh.
In all the 3 companies, the head of R&D in White, both the head of R&D and the head of the department were from Aachen. One was from FA Aachen, one was from RWTH Aachen. EcoClean, the head of the department was from Aachen, and from Bada Group, the CEO was from Aachen.
By the way, just so you know, I also heard this from a friend. He's working in Siemens.
Yeah.
Siemens, there's a professor who shifted from professorship to Siemens, and he exclusively took Aachen students, and
There
he
you
took
go.
like 70, 80 people right in by himself. So big. I mean, the name has its benefit. But moving on. So, what happened then? You got an admission and you studied what?
Production Systems Engineering.
PSE.
PSE.
Okay.
So 2014 batch, Production Systems Engineering, and yes, the course as such was really short. It was just 1 year, and all of us were done with all the subjects.
It was a 1.5 year course.
The theory part gets over in 1 year. What comes after that is your master thesis and your internship. Internship
Is optional, right?
Is optional.
Okay.
Yes. So, but
you
chose
still do it,
exactly. I still chose to do my internship because I had an offer first, and plus, work experience in a German company is the one thing that helps you get a job offer in a German company. Because
I completely agree. Once you have a little experience, the next jobs always are a lot more easier to come by.
yeah,
Okay, and then so you finally finished your course in 1.5 years, I think.
2 years because
2 years,
6
yeah.
months
6
of
months
internship
internship extra and 6 months of master thesis.
thesis.
And then you got a placement right where you were doing your master thesis. And
yes,
sounds cool, right? Now he's one of the only guys that actually got placed in the company that he did his master thesis in.
secret small company.
Always helps. If you go to bigger companies, they have so many thousands of students coming in every year and going out every year that they can't really employ everyone.
It is definitely more difficult to get an opportunity in a small company because your German needs to be really good. So if you speak good German, you get a shot in a small company, and in a small company, if you're good and if you prove yourself, they just take you.
And
That makes their life easier as
I
well.
agree. But I think the video has gone long enough. Let me go to the good part. How do you feel about your life right now, and what do you feel about your prospects?
At the moment, it seems pretty good. When you work in a small company, you get paid in peanuts. So that's the fact. But your job responsibilities are insane. You get to handle an entire project all by yourself.
I agree that
And
in
once
the long
you-
run is very, very
correct,
useful.
And stick to the small company at least for 2 years. Because when you have it in your profile that you've got 2 to 3 years of work experience, that speaks for itself.
And that is what gets you like 5 offers and
in big companies, exactly. Like you cannot sustain long in a small company because after one point of time you're saturated because you know you've achieved whatever you want to achieve. So you go for a big company, and this is like a perfect jump start for a big company. So right now when I go for a big company, I even have positions for team leader, which is pretty much you lead a
that's
team.
the team leader basically.
Team leader.
Translation.
Correct. So that never happens if you work in a big company, because
yes.
you're just working in such a small thing. You might probably specialize in that.
Area, yeah.
Probably specialize in
Yes.
that. I am not going to guarantee about that as well. But in a small company, you get to do much more, and your CV looks way better. And by the end of 2-3 years, you have a really good looking CV, and it's good for you to get more job opportunities.
All right. So that was Ashwin, and you'll be seeing more of him in the next video anyway.
Part 2.
Bye bye, guys.